welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me here on my little channel. I really appreciate your support. Be sure and click on that little bell down below, and that will notify you every time I have a new uploaded video for a movie review for you to watch. All right, let's get to it. The movie I'm reviewing today is called Rogue, and it's Rogue 2020 because there was another movie called Rogue. I don't know why studios don't look to make sure that the name that they want isn't already taken. And by the way, I don't think that the title of this movie actually fits the content, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me first tell you, this movie is rated R. It's an hour and 45 minutes. It releases on-demand streaming August 28th, and you can buy a copy of the DVD on September 1st. The Movie Review Mom grade I'm giving it is a C-. Sorry about that, director. Let me give you an overview. I'll point out some things I liked and didn't like, as well as tips for parents and some themes worth talking about. So first of all, in a nutshell, directed and written by M.J. Bassett with some writing help from her daughter, Isabel Bassett. This violent action thriller features bad human traffickers, bad poachers, bad lions, and a bad tough group of rescuers, all in danger of each other. Elizabeth Bassett, by the way, also plays the role of Tessa in the movie. Now, for M.J. Bassett, this movie really was more of a passion project. She posts on the screen at the very end of the movie that although this story is fiction, there are about 12,000 lions in lion farms in South Africa that are being kept in appalling conditions and in cages, and that has to stop. And so she's in her movie creating an emotional plea to create awareness and to show some mercy and kindness to our fellow creatures on this planet. She stated in an interview, "I'll make an action movie, and at the heart of it will be an environmental message and a conversation to be had about how we treat the planet and the creatures in it, which won't be like eating your greens." And so this movie is definitely not like eating your vegetables. This is hardcore action with brutal violence. So let me tell you some more tips for parents. You see the mistreatment and killing of lions. There's profanity, including 4.2 million F-bombs, because I counted them. No, I didn't, but it sure feels like that. Like not a single character can say one sentence without an F-bomb. It's just annoying. You might need to explain to your kids what poachers are and what they do and why they do it. And you see some animals attack and kill some humans, generally brutally. You see lots of graphic violence with blood and gore and huge high body count, lots of gunfire and explosions. So if you like weapons and action, you might get a kick out of this. Before I get to the good, the bad, and the ugly, some themes worth talking about after you watch this movie are certainly humanity and the terrible things that we do to each other and to the creatures on this planet for money, just for stupid money. There's talk of countries and governments and the role that they play in the motivation for what people do to each other and to animal life, teamwork, and then also an issue of manhood and what is it that makes a real man. Now, some things that I really liked about the movie are, first of all, nonstop action. Pretty much, there's a little slow period, but it's almost all nonstop action, which I like that. Going into it, watching the trailer, you're like, oh, this is going to have some good action, right? There's snarky humor, which I appreciate, and especially in this type of an environment where there's a lot of tough guys. I mean, everybody's tough except for two people in the movie, and so they're just spitting out all this snarky humor stuff. And then, of course, Megan Fox is gorgeous and very intense in this movie. She actually worked with a military expert to train her with weapons, and it shows. So good for her. She wanted to do a movie that would allow her to do something that she'd never done before. And even though she's completely covered in military style gear throughout this movie, fans can actually appreciate her beauty because she's just beautiful. And in fact, she is her regular, normal, sexy self in a new Machine Gun Kelly music video called Bloody Valentine. So if you like him and you like her, you'll want to check out that video. And if you also like Machine Gun Kelly, you might also like the new Jamie Foxx movie called Project Power that's being featured on Netflix. And I did a movie review about that too. So be sure and watch that. For those who love female empowerment movies, you wouldn't actually expect this in this action, killer, brutal, violent movie, but it is filled with female empowerment. So the film was directed by a trans woman, written by two women, produced by a woman, and features a strong female lead. There are some other females in the movie, some strong, some not so strong. There's a running gag about some of the tough military guys who sing a Backstreet Boys song. And it's kind of cute, because it's Backstreet Boys and there are these, really burly guys singing this song. And it's used really well. And I was told that the Backstreet Boys gave this movie their blessing, that they could use the song and have fun with it. And they kind of actually liked the horrible singing, in fact. This actually is one of those kind of movies that kids, teenagers in particular, will have fun making fun of while they're watching it. It's supposed to be a drama with some humor, but some of it is so bad that it'll be fun to watch. So that kind of leads me into the other things that I didn't like about the movie. And that is that most of the CGI in the movie is just really terrible and really fake looking. Specifically, the fire scenes and the main lioness just looks terrible. They could have spent a little bit more time on that lion because it's such a pivotal part of the movie. And every time I saw it, I was like, seriously? And it made me laugh. A lot of the scenes also occur at nighttime. So while this movie is going to on demand and streaming, if you watch it on a small device, there are going to be many moments where you're like, what's happening? I can't see, because it's happening at nighttime. As I mentioned, I like the snarky humor, but not all of it lands. It would have been fun to watch it in a theater to hear everybody else laughing, but sometimes somebody will say a line and then there's kind of a pause, and then I'm like, oh, I think that was supposed to be funny. I didn't hear anybody laughing because I watched it at home. There are some really stupid moments that are completely unrealistic and don't make any sense. Again, just kind of go with it, laugh it off, and enjoy it. And about those females, there are some of them that are being rescued, and all they do is whine and complain. And I'm just like, seriously? I think I would be really grateful and really nice to people who are risking their lives to rescue me. So those characters were just annoying, and you kind of didn't care if they lived or died, which is sad. You don't want people to feel that way about your characters. And in fact, there's a few slow moments where people are talking about their lives and trying to explain why they are the way that they are. But by that point, you kind of don't care anymore. So the writing wasn't really good in that regard. And then finally, because one of the messages of the movie is to treat animals with kindness and humanity, it seemed odd that one of the villains of the movie is this savage lion who just kills all of these people. And you're like, wait a minute, is that the right message that the movie wants to portray? So there are some funny lines in the movie that I wrote down, and I actually put them in my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So be sure and check out my website where you can get additional content. But here's an interesting line spoken by Megan Fox. Her character's name is Samantha O'Hara, and she says, she's talking to this one guy who talks about in his tribe, one of the rituals that they did to prove that they were a man when they were a young boy was to kill an animal. And she says, I believe that the ability to kill is the least quality that proves you're a man. And then there are some more conversations about it later on. And so I actually really liked that aspect of it. Now, there are some movies that I would recommend if you like this movie that you might also like. If you're into lions, you might want to see White Lion. And if you wanted to see a real toughened female lead, kind of like this Megan Fox character who kicks butt and tries to do the right thing, then you might like The Old Guard, which is a brand new movie featuring Charlize Theron, and you can watch my review for that movie as well. You can click on the YouTube description below, and I've got links to some of those movies if you're interested. All right, that's it for today. I hope you're healthy, happy, and kind out there. And until next time, bye for now.